Let's talk about the new development in the battle between It Ends With Us co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively's text messages with Taylor Swift, an email to Ben Affleck, and statements from Jenny Slate and Isabella Ferreira's depositions about Justin Baldoni have all been unveiled. What have we learned, Kinsey?
A lot. And it's not a positive reflection on anyone, especially Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift calls Justin Baldoni the B word in these text messages between her and Blake Lively.
Mm.
And one of the reasons why people care about this is A, Taylor was like, I had nothing to do with this. I'm not involved publicly. And B, remember when she talked about just desperate for sympathy, public sympathy, and talked about how when Kanye called her the B word, how traumatizing that was for her. And then she goes and does the same thing to
Mm.
Justin Baldoni. But Blake and Ryan sliding into the inboxes of A-listers en masse with derogatory portrayals of Justin arguably caused greater reputational harm than Baldoni's team allegedly amplifying a TikToker or two. I think we all walk away hating all of these people, and I think they're going to regret this case at the end of the day.
No one comes out of this looking particularly good, do they? Now, Katy Perry has joined former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at the World Economic Forum in Davos. I played some footage of that earlier. But during his speech, Trudeau referenced a recent date with an American girl at a rooftop bar in Montreal. He said when she ordered a Jack and Coke, the server kindly informed her that there was no more American alcohol, not just in that bar, but anywhere in Montreal and probably anywhere across the entire country. That's an example of Canadians standing up for each other. That's an example of soft power, being motivated to be there for each other at a time of stress, at a time of anxiety. Oh gosh, Kinsey, these two deserve each other.
I think it's an example of how cheap Canada is. But I would need a Jack and Coke too if I were to let that guy cop a feel. I think he's the biggest creep. But
Oh,
why? But why are we platforming losers who quit their jobs is my real question. It's the second coming of Prince Harry, Justin Trudeau, coming to a Toronto Hilton real estate convention near you. I don't care what he has to say, neither do Canadian truck drivers. This man has no backbone.
hmm. Well, yeah, all this talk about Canadian unity and soft power. Well, where was that when he was seizing bank accounts and targeting Canadian truckers who were just wanting to work? So, yeah, when it counted, he was an absolute tyrant. And talking about tyrants during COVID, Gavin Newsom has been humiliated at the Economic Forum after he was denied entry into the US clubhouse. It came after Newsom rushed out of Donald Trump's keynote speech to tell reporters that it was remarkably insignificant. White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly told the New York Post no one in Davos knows who third rate governor Newsom is or why he is frolicking around Switzerland instead of fixing the many problems he created in California. Ouch, Kinsey. That's a pretty harsh assessment there.
Pretty accurate assessment. Gavin Newsom isn't governing, he's auditioning. While we struggle with homelessness, drugs, and rising crime, he's globetrotting and posturing for a 2028 presidential run. The desperation to be seen has become embarrassing. I'm feeling the secondhand embarrassment while I'm looking at the man on the screen. And the neglect back home is the real scandal.
And when it comes to the film and TV industry, he's failing even there. California has suffered a massive drop, 20% fewer movies and TV projects last year. And this is even after Newsom rolled out record tax incentives to try to keep Hollywood at home, Kinsey.
California didn't lose film and television by accident. This is an industry the state was branded on and has been for ever. And it's declining on Newsom's watch despite those massive incentives. That's not bad luck, that's failed leadership, and it should disqualify him from higher office.
It should, but as we discussed earlier on the program with Josh Hammer, he's a front runner. He may be the front runner, and his only real competition at the moment seems to be Kamala Harris. So that is good news for the Republicans, I've got to say, Kinsey. If the Next Democratic presidential candidate is Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris. The Republicans are going to be looking forward to that race.
I mean, the ghost of Joe Biden is more appealing to me than Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, or I was afraid you were going to say AOC, and I was going to verbally vomit
Ooh,
or vomit. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Gavin Newsom would be such a blessing to the GOP.
Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time tonight.